there, you find out that the Igba man does not agree with the Ijesha man. Neither does he agree with the other ethnic groups and all of that. And the only way you can know that is that if you read a document of agitation for state creation, you will see a group of people saying they don't have anything to do with these other people, that they are culturally different, that they have, a different whatever and all of that. Meanwhile, they have been in the same state with them.
Now
that will tell you how much division that exists, not to talk about the north and the middle belt.
And we've had several calls about those who have said such things that they even want to speak about it. But the thing about that is that question comes when I ask you about the Impressionists, because having seen the history that preceded that conference and what that conference eventually came up with, and those who did come for that conference, how is it going to play out if the senators, because they all seemed united, saying, look, we need to do something about the tension in the country. So if that report comes as a bill from the executive, one wonders, how is it going to go or play out?
You see, Chamberlain, if what is playing out now is not a political facade, if they are sincere, altruistic, and desirous of solving this problem, it is that document that will save us from this imbroglio. I tell you why. Look at the composition of the conference. I mean, the participants of the conference for the first time. You will notice that all the eggheads in Nigeria, I can tell you that for free. I was one of the people who opposed that conference. On this platform. Yeah. Why did I oppose it? It was not because of the desirability of the conference, but the workability of it. I said it was not, but in my own words, I said they were going to throw chairs at each other because they are most likely not going to agree on anything. But you see, I commend my Lord Justice Kutige and Professor Ekeh, who started, I don't know whether God just descended on them. They started with less contentious issues. And everybody was like, aye, and they kept agreeing. And left the most sensitive issues for the last time. Apart from one walkout and one or two skirmishes and all of that, you found out that people came out with 600 recommendations. And look at the composition. All manners of professionals, youths, women, the physically challenged and all of that. And some people were opposing it at that point in time that they should have stood the election and all of that. These are people who are opinion leaders in their own rights. Some of them retired. And if you even want to contest election in your own constituency, you must go and seek blessing of these people. That we were able to draw them from their retirement and from their different offices, sit them in a place, get them to begin to analyze the problems this country had and do have now, and what challenges they had when they were either IG of police, when they were either, you notice that the lawyers were even complaining that there were not many of them. I think they gave us about 2 slots or thereabout. But by the time the conference started, we found out that they were not just lawyers, there were jurists in the place, judges and all manners of persons and all. Literally everybody was so represented. I didn't know that level of representation was going to come. And they came out with very fine reports, categorized the reports into 3 areas. 1, policies that Jonathan or at least any administration could implement. And you notice that the last days of Jonathan, he had already thrown it at the Federal Executive Council that we should begin to implement these ones that are like low-hanging fruits. And then the other one that require legislative backing. And the one that will require constitutional review and all of that.
But this same government, there had been some of them who have said that, look, the recommendations will not even be touched. And now, the Senate is asking the executive, look, in the light of what's going on, submit this report. So, one again will ask, will that happen?
You see, part of the problem this administration has is also that attitude to that recommendation. They had two problems, or they still have 2 problems. One is that pronouncement of 97% of voters. I mean, those people who gave the administration votes, and the 5% that didn't give them. That sent a lot of fear and suspicion on those people. So you couldn't be surprised if it triggered all these agitations and all, because those people no longer felt safe in an administration that says, look, we don't need to, we won't take care of you people, because you probably, one would have thought that a person who wins election should be fatherly enough to accept everybody as part of the country. But that was not going to happen. And the second one is a situation where in the first press chat, that the president granted, They asked him about this report, and he was so undiplomatic about it. It's almost like, I think his word was that it was going to gather dust, or that he should go to the archive where it belongs and all of that. That sent a lot of fears on the people. Those are things that actually exacerbated this tension that we are seeing today. Those two incidents, or two circumstances. So I am quite impressed with the administration now. At least they have gotten to a level where they are now beginning to dialogue. Because to have called the northern group to a meeting and the eastern group to came, that's the beginning of dialogue.
So do you think that view has changed about the report possibly gathering dust? Would that have changed?
Well, that view necessarily have to change, especially now that the Senate itself is now calling for it, is calling for that particular report. And the reason is that, you see, the vice president made a very admirable and impressive, delicate balance with regard to handling of this matter. When he spoke to the Igbo group yesterday, you could see somebody who left them in no doubt that there is a government in power and the resolve of government to make sure that this matter does not escalate. And at the same time, it was also conciliatory. And he gave them a lot of assurances in between the fact that he asserted the fact that I'm in charge, or government is in charge of the situation. So that to a large extent is going to douse the tension. Added to the fact that the Senate is now calling for this report, which everybody, literally everybody in the country, I can tell you 80% of Nigerians are asking that this report be looked at. And let us see to what extent we can implement it and all of that. And quite a number of people had argued then that it can only be if the National Assembly gives its nod. Now, the National Assembly is giving the nod, or at least giving us an impression that they will give the nod free of charge. So they are not calling for it. So we are on the right track.
But maybe to just butt in here, we've always talked about strengthening institutions. Did it have to take what has happened in the country with the hate speeches and the counter views to it? Did it have to take that before the legislative arm asks for that report?
Well, you see, circumstances evolve in the political dispensation. Issues come up. They may not have been envisaged.
Okay, pardon me. I hate to butt in because circumstances is involved now. But we'll come back and let you finish up in just a moment. Join us again.